Have you ever noticed someone who seems naturally brilliant but never shows off? They don't need to prove their intelligence to anyone, yet somehow you can just sense their mental sharpness. These people have something most of us miss. They've developed quiet habits that strengthen their mind without seeking attention or approval. Psychology reveals that true intelligence isn't about being the loudest person in the room. It's about cultivating specific behaviors that enhance cognitive function, emotional control, and mental clarity. Let's break down the 8 quiet habits that highly intelligent people practice every single day. 1. They listen more than they speak. Research on cognitive processing shows that intelligent people understand the power of active listening. They're not waiting for their turn to talk or preparing their next response. Instead, they absorb information, process it deeply, and ask thoughtful questions. This habit strengthens their understanding of complex situations and helps them make better decisions. While most people rush to share their opinions, truly intelligent individuals gather data first. They know that every conversation is an opportunity to learn something new. 2. They embrace mental challenges during downtime. When average people scroll through social media or watch mindless entertainment, highly intelligent individuals choose activities that stretch their cognitive abilities. They might solve puzzles, read complex literature, or learn new skills. Neuroscience confirms that challenging your brain regularly creates new neural pathways and improves overall mental performance. They treat their mind like a muscle that needs consistent training. This isn't about being productive all the time. It's about choosing activities that genuinely stimulate intellectual growth. 3. They question their own assumptions regularly. Intelligent people have developed what psychologists call intellectual humility. They understand that their current beliefs might be incomplete or wrong. Instead of defending their views at all costs, they actively seek evidence that might challenge their thinking. This habit prevents cognitive rigidity and keeps their mind flexible. They ask themselves uncomfortable questions like, "What if I'm wrong about this?" or "What evidence would change my perspective?" This constant self-examination leads to more accurate understanding and better problem-solving abilities. 4. They prioritize deep work over busy work. While most people fill their schedules with meetings, notifications, and shallow tasks, highly intelligent individuals protect blocks of time for focused thinking. They understand that breakthrough insights come from sustained concentration, not scattered attention. They deliberately create environments that support deep cognitive processing. This might mean turning off notifications, working in quiet spaces, or dedicating specific hours to complex projects. They know that real intellectual progress requires uninterrupted mental effort. 5. They observe patterns others miss. Highly intelligent people have trained themselves to notice subtle connections and recurring themes in their environment. While others see isolated events, they recognize underlying systems and relationships. This pattern recognition extends beyond academic subjects into human behavior, market trends, and social dynamics. They might notice how certain personality types react under pressure or identify early warning signs in complex situations. This skill develops through consistent practice of stepping back and looking for the bigger picture. They don't just react to immediate circumstances. Instead, they analyze how different elements interact and influence each other over time. 6. They maintain emotional distance from their thoughts. Psychology research shows that intelligent individuals practice cognitive flexibility by treating their thoughts as mental objects rather than absolute truths. When an idea enters their mind, they examine it objectively instead of immediately accepting or rejecting it. This creates space for rational analysis and prevents emotional reactions from clouding their judgment. They might think, "That's an interesting perspective my mind just generated," rather than, "This is definitely true." This habit allows them to consider multiple viewpoints simultaneously and make decisions based on logic rather than impulse. 7. They invest time in understanding systems and frameworks. Instead of memorizing isolated facts, highly intelligent people focus on learning how things work at a fundamental level. They study the underlying principles that govern complex subjects. from economics to psychology to technology. This systematic approach allows them to transfer knowledge across different domains and solve problems more effectively. When they encounter new information, they immediately ask how it fits into existing frameworks or whether it requires updating their mental models. They build comprehensive understanding rather than collecting random pieces of information. 8. They practice strategic ignorance about trivial matters. Truly intelligent people understand that attention is their most valuable resource. They deliberately choose not to engage with gossip, celebrity drama, or meaningless debates that consume mental energy without providing value. This isn't about being antisocial or disconnected. It's about protecting their cognitive bandwidth for things that actually matter. They might avoid certain social media platforms, skip trending topics that don't affect their goals, or politely decline conversations about subjects they consider unproductive. This selective attention allows them to maintain focus on meaningful pursuits. These 8 habits reveal something profound about intelligence. It's not about showing off knowledge or winning arguments. Real intelligence operates quietly, constantly refining understanding and building mental strength through deliberate practice. The most remarkable thing about these 8 habits is how invisible they are to the outside world. While others chase external validation and try to prove their intelligence through loud displays, truly brilliant people are quietly building their mental capacity behind the scenes. They understand that real cognitive growth happens in moments of solitude, reflection, and deliberate practice. These habits aren't just random behaviors. They're strategic choices that compound over time. Each quiet moment of listening deepens their understanding. Every mental challenge strengthens their cognitive flexibility. Each question they ask themselves expands their perspective. This is why their intelligence seems so natural and effortless. They've been cultivating these patterns for years without needing applause or recognition. What's beautiful about this approach is that anyone can develop these habits starting today. You don't need a high IQ or special talent. You just need the wisdom to recognize that true intelligence grows in silence, not in noise. It develops through patience, curiosity, and the courage to admit what you don't know. So the next time you meet someone who radiates quiet brilliance, remember that their intelligence isn't a gift they were born with. It's the result of countless small decisions to listen instead of speak, to think instead of react, and to learn instead of assume. Their mind became sharp because they chose to sharpen it when nobody was watching, and that choice is available to all of us. If this made you think differently, subscribe for more videos that break down how the mind really works.